Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Constantly Calibrating Podcast. I don't know why I did that intro. Why do we do intros after we've been talking for a while? I keep the whole thing in fucking anyways. What's the point? Anyways, I'm Josh Silverman. Over here, we got Justin Stanley. I think he's that direction, I believe. I really should probably look at where I'm pointing. So yeah, we're doing a duo cast tonight. We had plans to, so Ryan was supposed to be on the show. He wasn't last week to discuss his RTX experience.
So maybe the third week we'll talk about that.
Perhaps he's slowly becoming a thunder god because he's had like 6 power outages in the span of the past hour. So
it's like a reverse thunder god.
Yeah, like he's become. Yeah, well, no, see, Ryan is actually a thunder god. He just doesn't know it yet, and the lightning is slowly actually being attracted to him, and it's gonna that's what we're dealing with right now. Trust me, it makes sense, and it'll all be in the pamphlet you receive later on. So. Then we have Brad. Where is Brad, you might ask? Well, while mowing the lawn outside, his wife, I guess, ran over with a yellow jacket nest with a lawnmower. At first, I was legitimately confused when I saw the words lawnmower and the yellow jacket nest, because it didn't occur to me they could be like on the ground. So I'm like, did she just fucking pick up a lawnmower angrily and put it up against the wall?
You're right. I never thought about one being on the ground before. Ooh, jeez. So it just flung yellow jackets everywhere. Yeah, so it flung yellow jackets. They were obviously pissed them off. She got stung a bunch of times. Brad got stung a few times. They're both loaded up with Benadryl. Apparently, they only had children's Benadryl. And they're currently dealing with that. So, both cases of totally understandable hosts not being here. So Justin and I are going to do the show. The original plan for the show was going to be talking Ryan's thoughts on RTX, going to touch on Spider-Man Homecoming, Destiny 2 beta, Castlevania, stuff from San Diego Comic-Con. We're gonna vamp a bit and go around the stuff because some of these topics kind of require Brad and Ryan to be here. Can't really get Ryan's thoughts on RTX without him being here. And I'm not fucking discussing Destiny if Brad's not on the show. Also, I forgot to watch Castlevania in the last week, like I promised. So that didn't help either. It's your new Stranger Things.
Yeah, maybe. No, my new Stranger Things is in the end gonna fucking be like Game of Thrones at this point.
Oh man, I totally got HBO Go. Oh gosh, it's great.
Wait, like, you actually have your own like account or
no?
Okay, you got it. Okay, gotcha. I discovered my in-laws actually subscribed to HBO for the next 2 months. So for Game of Thrones, the problem is they weren't aware that there's like a login for Cox Communications. So
my parents apparently have it. I have their login for DirecTV. HBO, please don't watch. And like I checked it like 2 weeks ago, didn't have it. All of a sudden I checked it, I'm like, it went through. Okay, sweet.
That works. So yeah, you gotta figure that out. So Game of Thrones at the moment's gonna end up being that one for me. But I wanted to talk about a topic that Justin actually made me think of, kind of last second-ish right before we were starting. We were talking about something related to communities and followers and stuff. And there's kind of a controversy thing going on. Justin, what do you know of the whole VOD stuff that's going on with Twitch, if anything?
I don't know a damn thing about it.
Well, do you at least know what VOD, not the controversy, what the VOD service is at all?
No, I don't know about it. Sadly, okay. I'm not in the know.
Cool, that's fine. So the VOD thing, for people to know, I mean, VOD stands for video on demand, but it's a vodcast is essentially, and there's a little thing like in the top right of the dashboard if you have Twitch. Vodcasting, what it allows you to do is to play your old videos, your old streams, and yeah, they get played, and you're not actually live. It's just video on demand. And you have to set them to go live, all that kind of stuff. It was controversial initially because there was no signal for people that it was a VOD versus live streaming, so it was pissing off a lot of people's viewers.
Oh, so like basically instead of like, hey, I'm not live right now, I can just replay one of my old streams at any time I want?
Exactly. Oh. As long as it's, I think anything either that you've streamed or uploaded can be done at any time. You can create playlists, I believe. I think there's a lot of options of what you can do. So initially it was a controversy for people because you couldn't tell somebody was doing VOD thing except for this like little gray marker. Now it's a lot more obvious. The problem is with I don't know if you know what the new Twitch app. The new Twitch app has a thing that when you sign into the Twitch app, you mark I think it's like 3 to 5 games that you like. And what it'll do is it will then follow about 5 people currently streaming that game at random on your account. And what this is doing is getting a lot of people followers, but it's also counting now people who are doing VOD streaming. So, like, I personally know people who ran tests, and they just round the clock. They were just had player-known Battlegrounds VOD playing for 24 straight hours, and they went up about 5,000 followers because of it. But it's artificial because these are not real community. It's not people who are actually watching your stuff. It's just people being added to your follower thing, and they also don't get the notification added either. So it's not like they're even 100%. Unless they start looking through their following, they're not even fucking aware they're following you in the first place. So it's creating this controversy of of breaking down of community. Now, most people from Twitch that I've read comments from, like including Aurelion, one of their community people, she's made the comment, well, people need to start using the VOD in more creative ways to make it make more sense versus just as this kind of cheap tactic. Mm-hmm. So there's this thing like major streamers like Co-Carnage and stuff like that are really adamantly against it, while a lot of people in Twitch are not understanding what the problem is. I was reading about that as of like an hour ago. I was just watching shit unfold. So, like, what's your thought about people essentially getting artificial viewers from streaming video on demand?
I don't know. Like, part of me is thinking, like, part of Twitch, part of this is being live streamed, but in the end, your channel is providing entertainment. And if you're providing entertainment, why shouldn't you get credit for it, even if it's an old video?
I think that I agree on that. My thing though is it the proper kind of credit? What metrics actually really count in the streamer world? For a long time to become partner, you had to have a minimum of like 1,000, depending on what you were doing. You had to have like 1,500 followers, but you also had to have X number of concurrent viewers and X number of this. So what's the actual important metric anymore? Do followers even matter?
That's the thing. I probably missed that when you're talking about it. Does that count towards your streaming time?
I actually don't know on that. I don't know if that counts towards total streaming time. I think since it's in the same, since they don't have it as a separate thing, I believe so.
Okay, that seems like an oversight right there.
It seems like a lot of stuff they've been doing is an oversight related to this. It seems like somebody came up with this idea, put it out there, and then they just didn't really plan quite as well as they maybe should have.
Okay. So it's basically in a beta phase right now or something like that. They're kind of throwing it out in the wild, see how it does, and just not being accepted.
That's kind of how I'm interpreting it.
I'm sorry.
I thought to myself, I wonder how the lighting's gonna look on the web around if I turn it this way, and then I remembered right, if I turn the chair. Oh, this thing is fucking absurd. It
ruins the illusion.
I cannot wait till Charnel gets home and looks in here, and there's just this fucking white umbrella here. There's this green sheet of doom and stuff. So yeah, that's about really it on that topic that kind of popped into my mind. There's like other things that keep popping into my head, just unrelated to this, just like different controversies and stuff. There's so much crap going on, but I'm in that mode where I don't want to pick out random controversial things unless I've actually studied up on them a little bit. Yeah. Because I always tend to make an ass of myself. So instead, let's go some San Diego Comic-Con things. My favorite thing about San Diego Comic-Con so far has been not being on the internet for about 18 hours. And then coming back on the internet to having 75 fucking Marvel posters, like 20 fucking DC posters. I feel hundreds of pieces of news, story tidbits, all this stuff, like completely oversaturated with just information on, and that's purely Marvel and DC properties, not even getting into the rest of Disney or Star Wars or anything else.
Yeah, I actually like opened my Facebook feed, which I rarely do, and it was just, I started chain gunning trailers.
Yeah, so which trailers have you actually watched as of right now?
I watched Defenders, I watched Justice League, I watched Thor Ragnarok, which is awesome.
I did not think they could top the previous Ragnarok trailer, and somehow they didn't just top it, they hit that thing out of the fucking park.
Just have Thor having heart-to-heart times. It's not Thor. Thor and Hulk having heart-to-heart time is all you need.
Yeah, no, seriously. Just the two of them chatting was reason enough, but the music used in it was amazing. The visual of it. The amount of... story and stuff, and then everything else. Hold on, can you vamp for a second? Talk about the trailer. I just heard a really bad sound.
I mean, it was very cool, man. Wow, here I am vamping to you. And now I completely forgot. Well, one, we actually got the character. Like, I mean, you thought just going off of Norse mythology that it would be hell, but now it's confirmed. Hey, yeah, it is hell. So that's pretty cool. Just to have that confirmed. I don't know. I'm really excited. It seems like it's more of a. It's definitely more of a buddy cop movie. Like we're getting more of that feeling now, and we see that now. So for those reasons, I am excited. Justice League Ready Player One.
What are you?
Sure enough, he's just wandering, dude. So like, I think we're more interested in what's going on in Josh's camera than what's actually happening to me right now. But nope, there we go. We got Josh back. This is gonna be interesting, edit.
Yeah, you want to go down, buddy? Okay, you can go down. Yeah, no, this will be a fun edit. As I've said recently, he's gonna wander. I have a kid. He's gonna wander in.
Kids wander.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Okay, good boy.
It's real life, people.
Yeah, it's real life. So, what I miss?
Not much. I just vamp more. That we got the character's name confirmed and all that stuff too. Like, you thought it was hell. Yeah, it's definitely hell. And just like you definitely gets more of that buddy cop feeling to it.
Yeah, no, I definitely think the idea of a buddy cop movie by the same person who directed What We Do in the Shadows is like everything. And everyone who's making comments like, oh, there's too much like Guardians of the Galaxy, go fuck yourself. What's the problem? A, what's the problem with that? B, the first two Thor movies were campy as fucking hell, but the biggest flaw in the two of them was they tried to pretend they weren't. They tried to pretend they weren't campy movies.
Yeah, and they try to go for this epic fantasy, and it's just... No, that's not what it was. It was super camp.
Yeah, no, it was campy, and so they finally hired a director who understood that, and they slid hard into the camp, and you know what?
Slid hard into Guardians, but...
But still, I mean, well, Guardians was campy, but it still, to me, feels like a different vibe of a movie. It still feels different, and this is obviously all based on trailers.
Yeah, and they're kind of doing what they do, what I think with their movies they feel don't do as well. Like, hey, Cap didn't do well, throw a bunch of other people in there. Thor really didn't do well, so start throwing some other characters in there too, that become like more of a stronger story part than just a mention.
I mean, perhaps. I mean, well, the thing is, okay, to touch on Chris's comment about he's not really interested in this, but he really Thor. I love Thor 1. My only issue I ever had with either of the Thor movies was Natalie Portman. Like, I'm totally in... Oh, I actually think she's a great actress. I just think they picked someone who had zero chemistry with Chris Hemsworth whatsoever. And they shoehorned the romance story in with a person who essentially seems like she's just a fucking lamp. Like, I mean, it's the Bechdel test for all. She might as well just be a fucking lamp.
They treat her as a lamp after the first one and second one. They're like, she's just mentioned in the other one. She's like, oh yeah, we just whisked her off to somewhere. That's her job now. No need to actually show her.
Well, I mean, that's in Avengers. Because she's in the second movie.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So, and thank you for that follow, Delicious. So, anyways, I'm excited about Thor at Ragnarok just to see the difference in what they do. And as far as, you were saying bringing in more characters to change things up and stuff like that. I mean, it's essentially what's happening in comics as well. Everyone started out as these solo properties, and then they intermingled in one big group thing, and then they went to separately, and then another big group thing, and then it started in duos and team ups and things like that. And that's essentially what we have going on. I mean, Civil War obviously was a big event movie without being an Avengers movie. We have Thor coming up. We have Spider-Man Homecoming was a huge duo kind of thing. So it's a lot of that kind of stuff.
I'm trying to think, most of them are being duos, except we're not sure exactly what Black Panther's going to do yet.
I mean, Black Panther, if there's any duoing, spoilers of Civil War, it's going to be that Bucky, Cap might appear, and then Bucky's in cryo freeze. So we're going to at least see Sebastian Stan in some way, shape, or form. What's the release dates go? Black Panther comes out before Infinity War, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Let me see. I'm pulling it up right now just to double check. So, okay. Okay, so we just had Spidey. Thor is November 3rd. Black Panther's February 16th. Infinity War is May 4th. The 10-year anniversary of Iron Man.
Oh, wow. God, that movie holds special times.
Yeah. And yes, Firebite, Spider-Man Homecoming was amazing. And yes, Justin, definitely for Iron Man. Ant-Man and the Wasp is July 6th. Okay, let's talk news. Ant-Man and the Wasp. So in first time Ant-Man, you see a picture that they don't really show her of Janet Van Dyne because she's, dead or missing, essentially, in the story. In subparticle level, subatom level. She is seen as a picture off the side. After the second time I saw that movie, I turned to my wife and I said to her, I'm like, with Michael Douglas being Hank Pym and just like that silhouette of her, I want Michelle Pfeiffer to play Janet.
That'd be perfect. Oh my God.
And then they announced Michelle Pfeiffer at San Diego Comic-Con as yep, no, but I'm saying like that's what fucking happened. They also announced Lawrence Fishburne as Goliath.
Okay. Just pull in everybody we love into Marvel, why not?
Yep. So I like the casting of Lawrence Fishburne. I'm fine with that, but like this Michelle Pfeiffer movie, the first time I've ever said I want someone to be cast in a role, and it actually happened. I've never experienced that before, so I was like, the fucking hell. And like I started to tell Charnel, I'm like, so yeah, like they, I cast Michelle Pfeiffer, and she's like, oh, like you guessed. I'm like, wait, you listened to me?
That's even more shocking.
That was even bigger shock. So, okay, we got Ant-Man and the Wasp coming July 6th of next year. Captain Marvel, March 8th. Have you heard they gave out the plot synopsis of this as well?
No, I have not.
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, go for it.
It takes place in the 1990s. It's co-starring Sam Jackson as a Nick Fury with two eyes. And the villains are the Skrulls.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. So
it's kind of hard to do the Skrulls because without Fantastic Four, but again, we're doing a lot of things without the Fox-owned properties.
So Fox owns Super Skrull. They don't own the Skrulls themselves. Essentially, it's a case of they own a lot of the individual characters, but not the overarching alien races. So they can do the Skrulls just fine, and this might actually set up a secret, was it Secret Invasion or Secret War kind of thing down the line. And then the last announced release date stuff is Avengers 4 and Spidey Homecoming 2, which are May 3rd, 2019 and July 5th, 2019, respectively.
Gotcha. Okay, so did you see Justice League?
The trailer for that makes me so angry because it looks so fucking good. And notice what they did. They leaned heavily on Wonder Woman, and then their next level hanging on was Aquaman.
Okay, and no, they had some like charming Flash put in there too. My favorite line is probably like, I don't really go into battle. I just kind of push people and run away or something like that.
Yeah, no. He's like, I just run in and kind of push people and run away. Kind of respond. No, they're trying to sell us on the Flash because most people still refuse to believe a Flash movie's happening. There's no attached director. There's not a lot of information attached. Chris, I'm all comic book movies, just to be clear. I lean Same Marvel because it's what I grew up on, and I know most about it, and to be blunt, overall they're doing better. However, much like Greg Miller, I believe Batman vs. Superman was a good movie. I don't think it was a great movie, but a good movie. I'm 100% in favor of that. Green Lantern gets a shot. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what they said. Like, they don't have Kryptonians or they don't have lanterns or something like that. That's definitely a line I picked up on. So I knew Chris had to get excited about that.
Yeah, Green Lantern gets a shout out in it. And we already had Lantern Corps movies on the way. The trailer looked amazing. Aquaman was exceptional. I just realized my wife's home, and it's gonna look bad if the office door's closed. Give me one moment.
So yeah, I'm really excited for it. Like I didn't mind Batman vs Superman. Just the fact that
close it back up again. Sorry,
gotcha, but the fact that Justice League is kind of reaffirming it's looking good. I'm excited about it.
Yeah,
more excited about it.
Yeah, let's talk a little DC stuff because we did ramble on Marvel for a little bit. So I am really excited about what we see in DC. Some of the Easter eggs and stuff like that. I'm just a person who I just don't get what the fuck DC's doing with a lot of their stuff and a lot of their announcements. I don't
think they know what they're doing.
it's just coming across like very haphazard. They've announced the name of the Flash movie now, and it's Flashpoint, which is, it's like, I feel like they're just throwing major arcs in the wind just to do them. Though I do like that. Go ahead.
Well, that, or like maybe they're throwing that arc in there so they can go ahead and reset their universe early, since it's so screwed up right now.
Well, that's the thing. That announcement came right when the rumors started of Ben Affleck leaving the role of Batman, and I think every person jumped on, well, that's how they're doing it, kind of thing. But yeah,
that's a perfect jumping off point.
But he's now stated unequivocally that he is the Batman and he's staying as Batman. That obviously could just be PR speak, but the schedule of movies that I read was fascinating. So this is what was announced, and according to what I've read, this is the order of movie releases for DC. Wait, give me a second here. Where Facebook? I sadly have this on to Facebook, and it loads slowly. So I know it was in here somewhere.
Oh, that's not gonna be accurate. That's not gonna be accurate at all. The first thing I pulled up was like the daily whatever.
Oh yeah, no. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So the order supposedly after Justice League is, because according to what I've read, is Shazam, which I'm surprising me that's still happening. Suicide Squad 2, which okay.
Super surprised that's happening.
Well, it's an Oscar-winning movie. Justice League Dark, which I'm excited about that, but really? Then Flashpoint. Then
Keanu Reeves back as Constantine.
I love that movie. I
do too.
I didn't know it was a DC fucking movie when I first saw it, but I love the shit out of that movie.
It's a bad rendition of Constantine, but I still love it because
it's a bad rendition of Constantine, but a overall decently watchable movie. Ow! I just punched the mic. Shazam's Flashpoint, Wonder Woman 2, Green Lantern Corps, Batgirl, then the Batman. So according to that logic, we're not fucking seeing the Batman until like 2021. And there's no mention of a Man of Steel sequel anywhere in there.
Didn't you mention like a Cyborg movie at some point too?
There was a Cyborg movie that was shelved pretty early on. That's the thing with DC. They announced about 8 movies off the bat, and they've shelved 3 of them, and 2 of them nobody believes are actually happening, and that's both Shazam and Flash. Just because, again, they announced them, and it's now been like 2 years. And in the case of Flash, they've gone through 3 directors, I believe. So it's just, I want to be excited. I'm a Marvel person, been a Marvel person since I was a kid, but I was always more excited about the idea of DC movies. I hate Superman, but I always loved the Superman films, and I always wanted to see Superman and Batman interact. I love the shit out of Batman, and I loved every shitty Batman movie from the 90s. Loved all the Christian Bale ones. I just like Batman and his rogues gallery, so I'm excited for that.
That's a strong statement saying you like every shitty Batman movie.
I do, though. I love Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. The only Batman stuff I've never liked in my life is Adam West Batman.
Oh god,
I know,
it's great.
I know, but I
can get behind Batman Forever. I can't get behind Batman and Robin.
Oh, I don't think it's a good Batman movie. I just think it's an enjoyable, stupid experience.
Though it is super quotable with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, that's the thing is I could watch that. I'm a hypocrite. I like Batman and Robin because of its campiness, but I don't like Adam West's Batman because of its campiness. I think I just like 90s camp more than I like 60s camp.
Okay.
That's the best I could figure out. I've gotten in fights with people over this, but to be clear, I also have not watched any of Adam West's Batman in probably a decade. So I loved it growing up. So I definitely want to give it a try.
Say crap about Batman and Robin, like when I was growing up and like we had HBO or cable at the time, whatever channel it came on, when it was on, I put it on. Like it was on in the background at least.
Well, that thing is there's solid background.
But that's just me. I'm I do lean Marvel, but my favorite comic book character is Batman in the Batman universe.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, I lean Marvel because Marvel has done things better to date, and a lot more of my friends, my wife and her best friend are both massive Marvel fans. To the point that literally all the two of them ever fucking discuss is Marvel fan fictions. Like, it's this. My house is just a discussion of what fanfics the two of them are reading, or in the case of her friend, writing.
Actually, now that I think about besides Superman movies and Batman anime series, and I did watch the Adam West Batman, I leaned more Marvel when it came animated growing up too. I even watched the old Iron Man cartoons.
Yep. The Iron Man cartoons are good. Spider-Man and Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I think was the 70s days one. I used to watch that really shitty live action Spider-Man show.
I did too. Oh my god, I love it when he's
so fucking bad. But I loved
it. We tested out his web shooter. He shoots it in a tree and just swings around for a solid minute or two.
But and Gambit's awesome, Chris. No question on that. Yeah. So
except Gambit in the Wolverine movie.
No, Taylor Kitsch was fine in that fucking movie. They just did a terrible job making him actually Gambit. But as Gambit, if he was actually Gambit, he would be a phenomenal casting.
It's just that movie was bad.
Taylor Kitsch just gets the raw end of the deal pretty much in everything. That John Carter of Mars, which that was a phenomenal movie. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I love the shit.
Chris did mention the video game for Wolverine. Yes, very good.
No, it was a great. I see. I like X-Men Wolverine's Origins, whatever the hell. Again, don't think it's a good movie, but Deadpool is garbage and the continuity is awful, but it gave me all I wanted. The reason I could never really like the original X-Men movie as much when it first came out was because at that time, most of my childhood, Sabretooth was my favorite comic book character.
Oh,
he was my absolute favorite fucking comic book character because of. I'd really never actually read a comic with him, but I loved the 90s, X-Men show. And then as I grew up, I would actually just read about Wolverine and Sabretooth's stories. I would read forums in the early days of the internet just about them because I was just fascinated with Dynamic. I never read comic books, but I was just fascinated with Dynamic. And then there was that garbage with the first X-Men movie. So you could say whatever shit you want about X-Men Wolverine Origins. Liev Schreiber was fucking amazing as Sabretooth. I stand by that. It just was not a great movie.
I'll give you that too. Characters were good. Movie wasn't. Though, granted, I'm gonna go ahead and admit this. I wasn't the Hugh Jackman Wolverine fan till probably the last two. Even though the last one wasn't really the greatest, or I don't know. Even in the X-Men movies coming up, I started liking him too. But most of the Hugh Jackman Wolverine, I really wasn't feeling him as Wolverine until his later half, or not even half, later quarter for me.
I said before, I think Hugh Jackman made a pretty good Logan, but not a good Wolverine. He just was never animal. He was just he played the loner well, but he never played the animal well.
And then he finally got the animal well. In his little cameo they had in the last X-Men movie, I already forgot the name of Apocalypse. There it is. Yeah, that's literally all he played. And then Logan was spot on.
Well, Logan, has nothing to do with Wolverine. It's literally Logan. That's just...
No, it's literally Max Payne mixed with The Last of Us, which is probably why I love it, but...
Chris, I'm going to make a comment here. Growing up and most of my life, I hated Wolverine. I'm still not a huge fan of the character. The debates on the school playground, especially with the 90s X-Men show, was, who do you like, Wolverine or Cyclops? And I was literally the only person who would say Cyclops.
Oh, you poor kid.
Oh, no. I was that kid who got beaten up for being the wrong kind of nerd. That's the thing, is most of the times I got beaten up was not because I was a nerd. It was because I chose things that nobody else liked. But I liked Cyclops as a kid. Now I hate them both, pretty much. But I still like movie versions of the characters.
I'm trying to think the Wolverine games for the most part actually been good. I'm even thinking about the X2 Wolverine game where...
Oh, that's Wolverine's Revenge is amazing.
Which I think Mark Hamill voiced Wolverine in that one.
Wait, hold on. Mark...
I'm pretty sure.
I'm looking up now. Mark Hamill was... There's an article called 8 animated characters surprisingly voiced by Mark Hamill. Yeah, he's X2 Wolverine. Wow, I did not remember that.
So good.
I like. Wait, why is Joker listed as someone you'd be surprised that he was? Who the fuck would be?
Like, holy crap! They actually had like a really good cast.
Yeah, no, a good
Mark
one.
Mark Hamill, Wolverine, Patrick Stewart stepping in as Xavier as he should. Tessacor, not too familiar, but he played pretty much everybody. Jennifer Hill as Rogue.
Tessacor does a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So okay, here's a question for you. So we've kind of we started talking about Justice League and then we got sidetracked here. With Justice League, there's a theory going on that the person that Alfred is excited to see is not actually Superman, despite the fact that that's the obvious red herring of what it is.
Superman? Mm-hmm.
A lot of people believe that at the end of the trailer, Alfred is actually seeing Supergirl. And that they've actually cast her because... And this is based on the fact that when we see the hologram of Superman off to the side, a lot of people have said that the definition on the legs are too feminine and the shape of the cape is wrong.
Yeah, but they kind of spoiled Superman. It's in it in some way, shape, or form. Because they already showed, like...
We know Superman's in it. That's a given.
Yeah. So I know they already showed, like, Henry Cavill on set in the suit.
Well, dude, I mean, there's the controversy today that Henry Cavill's not allowed to shave his mustache that he has for, what the fuck movie is it? He's not allowed to shave his mustache going into Justice League, so they're going to have to digitally remove it.
Really?
Yeah, he's not allowed to shave it because of, what movie is he supposed to be in? Mission Impossible 6. They won't let him, he's not allowed to shave it between filming and stuff like that, so for reshoots that he has to do for Justice League stuff.
Well, now we know what movie studio has a bigger dick. Jeez.
It's ridiculous. Isn't Mission Impossible Warner Brothers
I'm
as
thinking
well?
it's easier to add a fake mustache than it is to digitally...
Seriously, so there's a lot of people who just keep making like fan art of Superman with this mustache, and a lot of people come to the conclusion that Henry Cavill with a mustache and a Superman suit just looks like Freddie Mercury. Apparently, there's been like I've seen 5 different people come to this conclusion with their like drawing fan art of it, and it's amazing.
I just had a flash in my mind as Nick Cage Superman, but he has like the mustache from freaking Kick-Ass.
That sounds about accurate. And Chris is correcting me in chat. It's Paramount who's doing Mission Impossible. I can't keep track of this shit.
How could you?
It's too much stuff. So, all I know is, yeah, we're definitely gonna see Henry Cavill's Superman in there. I just want a fucking Man of Steel too. Is that too much to ask? That's just my thing at this point. I just want Man of Steel 2. I loved Man of Steel. I absolutely fucking loved that movie. So
it's sad they didn't go the way they originally thought, because like I thought they were doing Man of Steel 2 with the Batman cameo, and then it just kind of got overtaken by Batman v Superman.
Yeah, that was, I mean, essentially what we all believed it was originally going to be. Pretty much prior to the name announcement, that's what it was assumed to be. So, I mean, technically speaking, Batman vs. Superman is Man of Steel 2. Like, it is, but it's still not. You know what I mean? I don't like Superman. If we're talking DC, I like Clark Kent. That's why I was really into Smallville. And I like a lot of different comic stuff that tackles Clark's problems. I fucking hate Superman. But I really liked Henry Cavill's rendition in Man of Steel. Violence and all. I was ultimately fine with it. So I really want to see that build out more.
God, I really got... You sound like Greg Miller there, because he hates aliens, but he likes when Superman's trying to be more human or something like that.
No, that's the thing, is I like Clark. I don't like Superman. Is how I've been most of my life, just because it's not the alien side of it. It's just I don't like all powerful heroes. The reason I hated Superman is the same reason I hated Captain America most of my life. I don't like the all American perfect superhero. The reason I started liking Captain America was when I realized, oh my god, Captain America is so fucking far from perfection. In comics and in stuff, you know.
So how you feel about the all Japanese superhero Goku?
Well, I mean, no, but it's the same exact fucking thing. It's that same idea. So yeah. So all I know is that I'm really excited for a lot of different movies. I want that new Justice League poster, and my god, do I want that Thor Ragnarok poster. I want the Justice League one just because it's cool. And it's really neat, and since Superman's not in it, it's like 5 of my favorite characters, because I like Wonder Woman a lot, way more now with the movie. I've always loved Batman, I've always loved The Flash. I could give 2 shits honestly about Cyborg. I've never seen Cyborg in anything except for the Injustice games, because I never watched Teen Titans. And Aquaman I've always been a fan of. Since I was a little kid, always loved Aquaman. So it's like 5 of these characters, 4 out of 5 characters I absolutely love, in a really cool Alex Ross inspired poster. And then Thor Ragnarok thing, I could, even if I wasn't into the movie, that thing's just a work of fucking art. That's just my opinion of it.
I didn't see a new trailer till now, and that's freaking awesome.
Which trailer?
Not trailer, the poster.
Oh yeah, for Justice League or Thor?
Justice League.
Yeah, Justice League's poster is so freaking good. It is such a ridiculously good, simple poster. So yeah, no, I want both those. John already found me an 11-inch by 17-inch version of it that's like perfect, crisp, new, but a 1 foot by 1.5 feet is just not a big enough poster for me. I want something big to put in the hallway and have Charnel hate me.
Yeah, she already does for all the ones you have in the hallway.
Oh, we have nothing in the hallway. No art, no posters, nothing.
That's true.
Yeah, no, I was not allowed. I was not allowed to bring stuff out of the office for the longest time. And then I just said to Charnel, I'm like, I'm gonna do it anyways at some point. You may as well have some say in what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, you might as well just get a fight up.
Well, originally the office was supposed to be a split of both of our stuff, but I've almost completely taken over like 2 walls of the office, and I'm moving on to the 3rd wall of it, so...
Okay, so that's where I remember seeing posters.
Yeah, no, I have a bunch of Mass Effect stuff. All of those old posters from the Dromedary house, like the Iron Man poster, the Joker poster, like those were all up over that house. They may have even been in the hallway, I don't quite remember. They never got hung up when we moved in here.
No, not the hallway. It's always been in the living room.
Yeah, the only other poster that's up in the house is my Star Wars A New Hope poster that I paid way too much money for.
That's the one I was about to ask where it's at.
Yeah, that's in the guest room.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it made perfect sense. It actually, weirdly enough, went with this. Anyways, we're rambling now about this. So I'm trying to think what there was some other fucking piece of news related to San Diego Comic. Oh, did you hear the new Stargate show was announced?
No, I did not.
I refused to watch the trailer for it, but a 10-episode show called Stargate Origins. I don't think any more information's out other than the trailer. But it's the only way to watch it is with an app that you have to pay for. Mm-hmm.
Really?
They're doing the same thing that CBS is doing with Star Trek.
Oh, don't do that. God, that Star Trek trailer looks good. Look.
I refuse to watch the Star Trek trailer. Christina's trying to get me to do it. I refuse to watch it because I'm like, I'm not going to watch the show. So I'm just not going to watch the trailer. Because I'm not fucking paying CBS individual money for that.
I didn't know they were putting that just on the app too. God, that...
Yeah, Star Trek, you get the first episode, at least when it was originally supposed to premiere at the beginning of this year, was going to premiere on CBS. And then it was going to be a free episode on the app. And then the remainder of the episodes were going to be all behind a paywall. I think that's like $4.99 a month.
Everybody wants to be their HBO, I swear.
Yeah.
Like, there's only...
Yep.
Well, I guess Amazon does it, Netflix does it, and HBO does it. Successfully.
Well, the thing is, Netflix pioneered it. So Netflix is...
I would say probably HBO pioneered it.
I mean...
Because they had their originals going and their paid service... before Netflix was established first, but I don't think they were doing series until after HBO Go got started.
That's what I'm saying. Most people have Netflix at this point, yes, for the series, but a large fan base of people who have Netflix use it, I believe, because it's still a place they can access television shows. It's a place they can access classic and stuff. They can access movies. The time the stuff gets online is actually pretty quickly for most things. So it's literally what launched the binge watching thing. HBO already had a kind of a service that was half-assed, and then when Netflix really started stealing their traffic, they then bolstered HBO Go and then announced HBO Now. So that's kind of what it started off HBO doing stuff. Hulu has their own programs. Amazon has their own programs. But the thing is, they all have multiple things. The CBS app, the only exclusive thing they're offering is Star Trek. And the rest of their channel, like the rest of their normal shows. So there's that. And then I don't know what company's doing Stargate, if it's Sci-Fi or if it's... I actually don't know, because I really have no idea on this one. But it's like, I'm not paying $4.99 a month. Like, that's just ridiculous. I mean, fucking CW just gives you their damn stuff for free. Like, you just have to have an Xbox One or a PS4 and you can just watch their stuff. I mean, it has 87 fucking commercials in every commercial break with with like volume that varies from commercial to commercial, but
yep, I got to watch all my Arrow, got to watch all my Flash, got to watch all my Supergirl.
Exactly.
And
I'm too tall. Suddenly.
Riverdale and all that, if you want to watch it, I don't watch them.
Yeah. I actually want to pick up Riverdale at some point. That's just, I haven't watched any fucking Arrowverse stuff. I'm so behind on shit. So, anyways, I got enough streaming services as it is. I pay for Netflix. I bum my cousin's Hulu. I pay for Amazon because it comes with Prime, and I pay for Crunchyroll.
That's exactly what I got too. Yeah, I bummed my parents' Hulu. I got Prime. I got Netflix, and I got Crunchyroll because I really had to watch Dragon Ball Super.
Yep. Yeah, so it's just kind of like one of those situations. So it's like, that's what we have. And then for, 2 months of the year, I try to bum someone's HBO, which, by the way, if anyone out there wants to loan me an HBO password, please.
We'll talk after the show.
So anyways, yeah, so that's that. I'm trying to think if there's any other news out there related to San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing anything else that's worthy of discussion.
No, I mean, there's a lot of stuff announced. I wasn't able to follow it as much as I wanted to.
I barely follow it fucking at all.
In other words, yeah, I didn't follow it at all. And that's because I got stuff going on. I got work going on. I got life going on.
San Diego Comic-Con is just one of those things that I know everyone's just going to share stuff with me anyways, and
it's going to be blowing up across social media, the stuff that you need to pay attention to.
Like, as a group, we should be posting every trailer that pops up on our pages and stuff like that. We should be doing all that. But it's like, I have a busy weekend, and I know people are going to be sharing with me shit anyways. Actually, I got a fun thing that happened this weekend. I pulled up Twitter, and at Wario64, who's an insider in gaming kind of thing, he was retweeted by Shinobi, another insider in gaming stuff, and it was 1 minute earlier that said Super SNES Classics on sale, Walmart. So I immediately clicked it, and over the span of 20 minutes of trying to get the site to work, I bought and pre-ordered an SNES Classic. And from what I'm reading, Walmart was not supposed to be selling them, and they're still considering not honoring the purchases.
That sounds about right from Walmart.
Yep. So, but that being said, I have an SNES Classic pre-ordered, so maybe, and I don't really know why. It was just one of those things like, I'm gonna pre-order it, and if I end up not wanting it, I'm just gonna sell it at cost to a friend who couldn't pre-order it.
Yeah, like if you don't want it, you'll find someone who does.
Or I'll give it as a giveaway on Concal for Extra Life.
Ooh,
that might actually not be a bad idea in general.
Yeah, as we play it, it's like.
Oh no, it'll be used. Like, just to be clear, it'll be a used SNES Classic.
You'll get to your Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, no, ooh, yeah, I forgot that's on there.
Yeah, it was totally on there.
Yeah, well, my SNES is like in a Ninja Turtle suitcase in that other room. So, anyone in chat have anything, like any topics they want us to discuss? Because this is just Justin and I rambling for another 10 minutes. If you're in our chat right now, you want us to discuss something, feel free to let us know. Otherwise, anything you want to discuss, Justin?
No, I just signed up for an alert from Amazon, but those never work.
Dude, I've signed up for so many alerts. My favorite one is I signed up for an alert for what was it? I guess I signed up for the Switch. Yeah, it was for the Switch. And I did not get an alert about the fucking Switch until it was close to 3 months after it originally went on sale. And the alert was for the original thing from 3 months earlier. Because it was so fucking delayed in their system. I don't want to go. I don't want to go into Spider-Man: Homecoming discussion because I really do want Brad and Ryan here for that. I especially want Brad here, but I do want to touch on Homecoming just a little bit with a simple thing of who do you want to be the light spoilering of a cameo in Homecoming potentially here, but who do you want to be the primary antagonist of that? I'm just to say with my spoiler thing. We don't hear him by name of his character, but Matt Gargan is in Homecoming. He is obviously want Scorpion involved. He's one of my favorite villains of all time.
Good bit of the Sinister Six is in Homecoming.
Shocker, Vulture, Scorpion. For at least one of the variations of there.
Everybody wants to see a Mysterio.
Mysterio is my dream character, but apparently Sony is making a Mysterio movie.
Yeah, just like they're making the... God, how do you get a Tom Hardy Venom movie and you can't incorporate it in the stupid universe? Sony, I hate you.
Yeah, Sony, they're making a fucking Tom Hardy... Yeah, go ahead.
You have a good thing here. You got lightning in a bottle and you don't need to keep it for yourself.
No, you got Tom Hardy Venom movie, which sounds amazing. They have... You've seen Gotham, right? At least far enough for Jerome.
Yeah, I don't... No, I haven't, but I know what happens, so...
But so you know of at least the character Jerome, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do know of Jerome.
Okay, so I'm trying to find. So Cameron Monaghan has been campaigning to play Carnage in the Venom movie, and that right there is dream fucking casting. Because if you've seen anything of him, he's not really playing the Joker in Gotham. He's playing Cletus Cassidy very blatantly throughout the fucking entirety of Gotham, and just in the wrong universe. So it's like, I really want that. Obviously, to be part of the MCU. There's Silver and Black, I believe is the name of the movie, which is Silver Sable and Black Cat in a movie Sony's producing. There's a rumored Mysterio movie, and then there's still Amy Pascal claiming that all of these are going to be part of the MCU. While Kevin Feige's just like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about?
Bitch, I got the key to that universe, and you can't have it.
So, nobody knows what the fuck's going on. All I know is...
It's like Sony they know how well Spider-Man would have done, and they're thinking it's going to carry over in their own movies. Meanwhile, WB is really confused what's happening with their movie universe, and really hoping Justice League gets critically acclaimed.
I mean, that's...
I guess, because they know it's going to make money. Mm-hmm. Making money is not an issue. They know that's going to happen, but it seems like they really do want to win their audience back, and they're trying to, and it's just, they don't know what the hell's going to happen.
That is 100% what it feels like is going on with WB right now, with DC stuff. They seem like they're really desperate. I think they realize they made some really fucking huge mistakes. Again, I like Batman vs. Superman, but I'm more than willing to admit it has a bunch of fucking flaws. Like, there's no question in my mind that it's a problematic film.
I'm actually 100% with Greg Miller saying it's better than Dark Knight Rises. I'm not a fan of Dark Knight Rises. I mean, I like Dark Knight Rises as a movie, but as a Batman movie, I hate it.
Oh yeah, no, I feel that. As a Christopher Nolan film, it's a good film. As a Batman movie, it is sorely lacking. I would put them, depending on my mood, pretty much on the same level. As far as I'm looking for, Batman vs Superman is a way better, beyond better Batman film. But I think Dark Knight Rises, as just a film, is a better movie. It's that kind of situation. So if I'm looking for Batman, I lean Batman vs Superman. But if I'm looking for a film, I'm looking at Rises. But that being said, I'm also the person who thinks Batman Begins is a better movie than The Dark Knight. Come at me.
As a Batman movie, yes. Only reason why Dark Knight is so great is because of Heath Ledger's Joker, which is fucking phenomenal. But that's it. Like, I hate Batman. Like, the Nolan's Batman, the further he gets throughout the series. I'm not a fan of Christian Bale Batman.
Oh God, no.
I wasn't Begins. I wasn't through the rest of the series. Like, ever since he gets the new suit is where he starts to decline for some reason.
When he was still a ninja, essentially, which is Batman Begins, it was great. When he became the armored Batman that he becomes in Dark Knight, and certainly Dark Knight Rises, when he was still Batman wearing the Bruce Wayne mask, which is Batman Begins, it was great. When it became Bruce Wayne wearing the Batman mask, which is what Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises was, that's when it became problematic for me, because anyone who knows the comics knows that Bruce is the mask, not Batman. So I hated when that dynamic flipped. completely and utterly. So,
granted, I'm overlooking things in the new WWE universe where the Batman just straight doesn't give a fuck if he kills somebody. Like, he doesn't try to kill people, but if they happen to die, he doesn't care.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a case. He's not he's definitely not seeking out the death of people, but he'll still shoot someone in the face at point blank range with a shotgun. So,
shoot, tow their car, flip into a gas truck. It's okay. They're bad guys.
Yeah, pretty much. So, Batman vs Superman in the DCU is fucking problematic as hell. But that's what Flashpoint's for.
That is what Flashpoint is for.
I love that. Stand by it.
God, they're trying that's the thing that drives me crazy about Batman v Superman. Like, they try to put so much story in it that's not there. They're like, it even trying to make those it's like he's meaner than he used to be. It's like, well, fuck, what does he used to be? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I have problems with that movie, but I still like it.
Yeah, pretty much. My web browser fell down.
Oh no! It's a web down.
Yeah, I think I stretched something in a weird place, so I'm gonna have to try the box.
The box is what makes it work.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, that's all bald spot I'm showing off. Okay, so we've kind of rambled all around about Marvel, DC.
Batman v Superman.
Batman v Superman. What, 3 fucking years after that movie came out? 2 years after that came out. So, any final things we want to want? You know what? We never really actually discussed the question of who do you want the villain to Homecoming to be. I want your opinion on this before we talk to Brad and Ryan next week about it.
No, I kind of would like to see a Mysterio. Like, I would say Doc Ock, except Spider-Man 2 exists.
I'd like to actually see a Doc Ock done well. That would make me happy. But
Spider-Man 2.
I hate Spider-Man 2. It's my top 3 most hated fucking superhero films ever.
I do want to see him done in this new universe, which Marvel has a strong hand in, but who knows if that's going to happen. Hopefully they can hold on to that, since they got the rest of them, I mean.
I got nothing against Alfred Molina. I just don't think he was a good Doc Ock. But I also don't think any of the Sam Raimi movies were particularly good either.
No.
So, except for Spider-Man 3. Yeah, I said it.
Those are fighting words.
Because, again, it was a case of the same thing that's happened with Thor. Sam Raimi refused to admit that the first 2 Spider-Man movies were campy movies. He would touch on it, but tried to make them too serious. Spider-Man 3, they just went all out for fucking camp because he was so pissed off that he had to put Venom in the movie, so he just said, fuck it. And I like the camp in it. It works for me. But Tobey Maguire was never Spider-Man. And I stand by that. But anyways, derailing. I'm really... So yeah, no, Mysterio is my dream villain because I love Illusionist and he's my... Pretty much, it's always between him and Elektra, who's my favorite Spidey villain. But I really want to see... a Goblin storyline. When I say Goblin, I don't just mean the Green Goblin, because I do want to see a proper Green Goblin. I want the Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin would be awesome, and especially I'm trying to think more now, like what villains I want to see with their direction they're taking, because what they did with Vulture was awesome.
Oh, Vulture was like, without getting too much, because I want to talk about next week, but Vulture was not an aviation specialist as he wasn't normally. He's not this old geriatric man trying to regain his youth as another version has done. He's not a owner of a $1 billion company. He's just a fucking guy down on his luck, and who happens to have a crew that works well tech and salvage some awesome alien tech. I mean, that's like the bare bones thing. But he is done so fucking well and is without a doubt my favorite fucking villain right now in the MCU.
I'll go up there. I'll back that up.
If he's not top, then he's number 2 kind of thing. And I just offhand don't know who I'd put it as number 1.
Villain. Wow, that's tough.
I mean, I love how the Red Skull was done in First Avenger, but
I do love Red Skull. I think was done really well.
I think was done really well.
Who even doesn't get enough props for that?
No, he really does not. And there's been good ones here. Loki's great, but I've never seen Loki as a villain, so that doesn't count. I think I can't remember the fucking character's name, but Christopher Eccleston's dark elf character I think is better than people give him credit for, but it's still not good.
Oh, that movie.
Yeah, Dark World. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Everybody loves the Mandarin.
I really liked Ben Kingsley's take on the Mandarin, and the
who was the Mandarin though? That's the problem. Like, do you like Ben Kingsley's taste, or do you like the extremist thing, or?
Then there's the whole. You watch when they used to do the short movies, the King one, right, where Ben Kingsley's Mandarin is in prison, and he actually at the end becomes the legitimate Mandarin. So it's like, and they never have touched fucking on that again, but. So they actually turns out he's not the idiot that we thought he was, kind of thing. The MCU's always had a villain problem. That's been their big issue, and I think Vulture was really like a step in really in the right direction. And I think they did a nice job setting the stage for other people to come in. But let's talk more about that next week. You and I have been
let's say like a whole lot of other people coming in.
A whole lot. So we've been going for an hour. I think the main topic next week is going to be Spider-Man Homecoming, Brad's thoughts on the Destiny beta, maybe I'll actually watch Castlevania, and then we'll have some other thoughts on things.
Yeah, I mean, I could talk about Destiny beta, but for me, it's Destiny, and that's about it.
Yeah, no, I want Brad's opinions of it. I want to hear him fight with us a little bit on it, even if there's nothing to fight about. But that being said, thank you, everyone, for joining us for this week's episode of the Constantly Calibrating Podcast. Myself and at least one other person will be back Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern for the Mental Health Breakdown. That's every week right here, twitch.tv/constantcalibrating. Popping up on Twitch and youtube.com/concalpod. We have all of our RTX coverage. Phenomenal interview with Justin interviewing Greg Miller. We have a great interview of myself with Ray Narvaez Jr. Sorry to be cocky. I think it's a really fucking good interview.
It's a really good interview.
I did an interview with Stu Grubbs of Lightstream, which I think is really cool and informational stuff. We got press panels coming up this week. We have a couple of interviews that Ryan did with the people behind Apollo Gauntlet for Adult Swim. And then he has another one for the game Shit on Your Friends. Both should be coming out Tuesday, I believe. And then along with a bunch of the press panels will be coming out, because I finally figured out a way to edit those and make those look nice. And we have a special interview that Blake did, but he went on vacation, I think, without finishing editing it. So we'll see when that actually comes out. And then I'm working on the escape room. Hopefully can have the escape room out this coming weekend. So yeah, keep an eye out for all that content. Saturday and Sunday morning streams should be resuming this week, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, again, twitch.tv/constantcalibrating. And then this whole week, I think every single night this week, my wife and I are going to be streaming Dream Daddy, a daddy dating simulator.
I can't wait for that.
I think they're just going to be once the kid is asleep streams. So 10 p.m. Pacific, they're going to be late stuff. So but if they come out well, maybe we'll do we'll video on demand them. I also got code for a couple of really cool games that I'm going to try to record videos with her for. Try to get her in more content, because my wife is really fucking funny. You guys don't even know watching stuff. But that's about that. As always, you can find us at constantcalibrating.com. You can find us twitch.tv/constantcalibrating. We're on Instagram. We're constantcalibrating at ConCalPod. I'm at Bear Punch. Justin's at The Aging Gamer. Facebook.com/constantcalibrating. Oh, constantcalibrating.com/CC iTunes. Go there or find us on iTunes. Can you leave us a review, please? It would actually seriously help. I know people always say that, but the reviews do really help. The ratings do really help. It gets us our podcast on more eyes.
Yeah, they help discoverability, and it's a great boost.
Yeah, if you like the show, drop an honest rating, but drop your rating, drop a review. It could be 2 fucking words. Please put it out there for this podcast. We're on Stitcher, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Google Play Store as well.
Don't you do that? Drop your favorite MCU villain.
No, you want I really like the show. Prowler's the shit. I don't know. He's not even the fucking MCU. Well, yeah, he actually is in the MCU so far, but we'll talk about that next week. You could also tell me I'm wrong on my crazy opinions I have expressed this evening. But I think that's about everything. Thank you guys for joining us for this evening's Constantly Calibrating Podcast. We will be back next week, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Again, twitch.tv/Constantly Calibrating. This episode will go live video on demand and audio on demand on Fridays. With that, for myself and Justin, I bid you good sign off.
Bye.
Bye.